Kit Kats. Well, great morning. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, today I did Marilyn. Marilyn Monroe was right there and one was coming through, and it's when you're doing this, it's how to explain it. It's your, you know, you're feeling. They're impressing the emotions and impressing the feelings of their life. And sometimes, it's more at a distance, and then other times it's very close. Very close to where you're almost in their consciousness. It's the only way I can explain it, what happens with that. And it's like when you start doing a reading, they're kind of at the distance, and as it's going forward, they're getting closer and closer. And I think it's just coming up with more in sync with your energy. You have more that synchronization that takes place. But yeah, it's it's not your emotions, because your emotions change. And you can feel, like with her, feeling that vulnerability and feeling that, just felt like a little girl for most of the thing. Yeah, like a lost little girl for much of her life here. And just naive in a way. Very, very naive, and yeah, that's all I could say. More very, very naive and vulnerable, and that type of thing. So yeah, it's interesting the way these come through. Now, each one of them has a different energy. Her energy from Queen Elizabeth, totally different, okay? Queen Elizabeth had that feeling of having to present that masculinity, whereas Marilyn, her energy was vulnerable. And I think that's what came through so much in her sexuality, just that feeling of the lost little girl, vulnerable, that needs to be protected. And I think that is what, in a way, made her feel so sexy to some men. Not that she was a dumb blonde, not dumb, but she was vulnerable, extremely vulnerable. And so there was this feeling, instead of being protective, they were drawn to that sexualization. Sort of being able to dominate that, yeah, it's a very odd thing. But yeah, that's what happens as you're doing the reading. Their emotions and their consciousness, where they're at, begins to flood in. And yeah. So it's interesting. Yeah, people that are empathic can pick these things up, but the difficulty with some people is that they don't know what are their emotions versus what they're picking up from somewhere else. And you have to be able to have that clear definition of what's yours and what belongs to someone else, and being able to disconnect from that. Yeah. I think this is sometimes the problem when you have people that are actors and they're really good at the role, but sometimes, they have to put themselves in that mindset, in that they create this whole different realm of the one they're portraying, and try to develop that consciousness. And I think sometimes they have difficulty in pulling away from that. Some roles can really affect them. Okay. Now, one role that was really was McConaughey when he did the Dallas Buyers Club, and he lost all that weight to play that part. Oh my goodness. Yeah, some people are really, really good at that. Anthony Hopkins. Oh my goodness, he can really get behind the psychology of the ones he's playing. And yeah, they develop this mindset of the one they're playing, and a lot of them, while they're developing these roles, they're living it. Okay. So good luck if you're married to somebody like that, because all of a sudden you're having to deal with Lord only knows what for how much time. Okay. That could be a mind bender if they really take on this role and then have difficulty disconnecting from it. Yeah. I think that a number of actors, this is not to say all of them, but a number of them are so dissatisfied with their life that they want to be somebody else. So they are constructing these other lives. It's very interesting. It's like sometimes we see the ones that are comedians, really inside, they have a very difficult time. Okay. Usually, well, I can't say usually, many times they were bullied at school, so they make fun of themselves and do this. Better to be laughed with than laughed at. And some of them can be very, very serious. I know, I had met, what's his name? He played Geraldine, black comedian. Oh, what is his name? The name is escaping me. But when he's so funny when he's on stage. When he's off stage, he is very going over his lines, going over his material, constructing it. Off stage, he's not, what you would think that they would always be funny like that. Now, I think some of them have just a natural humor, though. Some of them do have just that natural, spontaneous humor, but some of them are going into comedy to mask pain. So that happens as well. So you have both sides of it. Some of them are just naturally humorous and see the light side of life, okay? Like Robin Williams, I think he's just naturally humorous, okay? He just, he's the best, you know. He would just go off on a tangent and see the humor in so many things. But then there are other ones that were in a lot of pain and just tried to mask that pain with you know, humor. Yeah. So very interesting, you know, the way that all of these things play out. It's about consciousness, and things are very fluid. So, yeah. Anyway, today, in another few hours, I go and I'm going to get my iron, the iron tested, and we'll see what happens. How did my iron infusions work? You know, did they work or not? Like I said, in my case, it's a little difficult to tell because of the Lyme disease that's also there, which can make you also extremely exhausted and can give you brain fog and a host of other things that you have to deal with. So hopefully the anemia is gone, and I'm only having to deal with this one thing. We'll see. We'll see. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So looking forward to having that done today. And then the 25th, I have one more appointment, and then I should be able to leave the area and get in the van and take off and go enjoy, go out and travel for a while. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's what's going on here. Yeah, this thing with the working with the other side, you know, connecting with that is interesting. Okay, it's interesting for here as well, because this is something new that's coming in. You know, you never know how things are going to change, but yeah, that's something new that's coming in. That's more of that linking with those energies. Yeah, but it's interesting to feel the different emotions and mindsets of these people of history and entertainment, etc. Very interesting, because each one of them has such a different demeanor and feeling behind them. Okay. Yeah, very interesting. So we'll just continue forward, you know. And you know, there can be those people out there that want to poo-poo it or say it's demonic or whatever nonsense they want to put out there. Be my guest, you know. But yeah, we just continue to give what we can give. And I think these, let me know if you think these are beneficial. I think these are beneficial because they are coming through. And the other side, you know, then they're saying kind of the lessons that were learned. This was my experience here. And then on the other side, I get to look at it more objectively and can see what there is to learn from it. Okay? What I take what is of value out of it. So yeah. Anyway, let me know what you think. Much love and light, and I'll see you online.